Welcome back, everybody. We are moving on to the next, the next one. We are multiplying integers. Okay, again, integers, positive and negative whole numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it also includes -1, -2, -3, -4. Now, multiplying and dividing, which are the next two lessons, these are not as difficult. The rules are pretty straightforward, okay? So let's kind of get into that now. Let's see. All right, so some of the rules and things that we need to kind of know, we need to learn here is when you're multiplying your integers, we're going to use the same sign, different signs again. Same signs. If it's same signs, it's going to be positive, okay? So earlier before when we're adding and subtracting, this is the one thing that's going to be kind of most difficult, keeping them separate. When you're adding and subtracting versus multiplying and dividing. When you're adding and subtracting, when it's the same sign, you add and then you keep a sign. But here when you're multiplying and dividing, now we're going to be dividing it in the next video, but multiplying here, when it's the same signs, it's positive, okay? And we'll work through a bunch of examples, you'll see what I mean. And then the second rule is different signs, negative. Because you guys know when we're multiplying and dividing, it's just your answers, and so far, okay, have all just been positive. It's 3 times 4 is 12, and everything's positive. Let's actually do that one. Let's do that one now. I'm gonna kind of put a line here so we can kind of divide our stuff up. So let's do that. Now, first off, some things we need to introduce you to. Different signs of multiplication, okay? This is 3 times 4. You probably have seen it also listed like this. Okay, I don't use x's for multiplication. I'm not sure in your previous classes if you guys use x's. We are starting to introduce variables into the mix. X is a very common variable that we're going to use. So I do not use an x because this could be 3x, 4, but it's really supposed to be a multiplication. So I do not use x's for multiplication. So what I do use is a multiplication dot, and I use parentheses, okay? When you have a number next to a parentheses like this is multiplication. When you have two numbers with a dot here, this is multiplication dot, that is also multiply. Okay, so let's think about it. 3 times 4. We know 3 times 4 is 12. That's just one of our common times tables, okay? But these rules over here, same signs are positive. 3 is positive, 4 is positive, so when you multiply them together, you get a positive answer. So we've kind of been doing this rule all along without really realizing that we're doing this rule. But what happens is start getting negatives in the mix. So now instead of a positive 3 times a positive 4, we have a negative 3 times a positive 4. Well, now our signs are different. So your answers are negative. Multiplication and division does not change. I know earlier it was like, well, it's a -3, we're adding and subtracting, and the rules are a little different because sometimes you add, sometimes you subtract. Multiplication doesn't change. 3 times 4 is still 12. Now you need to find out what's your sign. Your sign is, when they're different, it's negative. Okay? Some people will think of it as, well, negative times a negative is a positive, positive times a positive is a positive. It's kind of a lot. This sums it up. When you're multiplying and they're different signs, a negative here or a negative here, it doesn't matter. If one is negative, one is positive, whichever order, doesn't matter. If they're different signs, it's always negative. If they're the same signs, it's positive. Let's do an example. Let's do negative 12 times -3. Now, on your homework, and then what I'll do, because if I don't put parentheses around here, it's a dot and then a negative. Here, I'll show you. Okay, if you have this, you can kind of get confused on, am I subtracting? What am I doing here? So you put parentheses around it. This shows you the negative goes to the 3. They're together. So it's a -12 times a -3. Again, multiplication doesn't change. What's 12 times 3? 36. Here's the deal. Do this on your homework. Do not use calculators, all right? Take this. If you don't know this, some of these numbers are going to be pretty large, okay? If you get one and you don't know off the top of your head, then just write it to the side. or underneath that problem, whatever, and then multiply it. That's a 6, that's a 3, boom, there's my answer. Don't erase that, leave that there, okay? And then come over here, put your answer. Now, they're both negative. That means they're same signs. What do we know about same signs? Same signs are positive. So, positive 36. This lesson is just as simple as that. I think the most difficult parts you'll have are some of these numbers. Let's see. Is it this one or is it division? Some of these numbers, actually, no. I mean, these are all times tables we should know. I think they're all under 10 and under. So 9 times 9, 8 times 7, 6 times 2, stuff like that. So we should know all these times tables. If you don't know them, just go ahead and do it on the side and put your one here. All right, so I'm going to, and again, you could have a multiplication dot, or if you don't have one and you have parentheses, it still means multiply. So I'm confirming that now. What it will do online or on the work, if it uses parentheses, it'll kind of go like that. Still, a parentheses next to a parentheses is still multiplication. You're multiplying in between there. So I'm going to give you some example problems or some sample problems for you guys to work out. And then we'll call it a quits on multiplying integers. Again, I kind of said before, adding and subtracting is going to be more work, more brain work, more all kinds of work than multiplying and dividing. So, I need to clean this up a little bit. All right. This board hasn't been used in months with us being out of school, so I think it's still getting adjusted. All right, let's get some problems going. So, let's see what we have here. I'll write it different ways for you guys. This is all wet. All right, here, this is wet. Let's go 3 times -4. Let's start off with this one, okay? I think I did something like that earlier, that's fine. So 3 times on your work, when you have this one, actually, I take it back, I know I said it earlier, the way that the software, the system that I'm using, it actually will do that. So look at, we read left to right, 3 times -4. Okay, so look at that. I'll give you a second right here. I want you to work on this, see what your answer is, and let me know. Okay, so what you should have done, again, it's multiplication, it doesn't change. What's 3 times 4? Ignore the signs right now. 3 times 4 is 12. Now look at your signs. You have a positive, you have a negative. They're different signs. Different signs are always negative, negative, and done. Now on your work, I haven't said this yet, but if you open up the work, it's the same thing as earlier. Since it's just like a simple step, I still need to know which one are you using. Same signs or different signs. So you can still write that. Different signs. That will tell me that you know which rule you use to find the answer. Let's do another one. Okay, something like this one. So I want you to go ahead and take this one. Look here, we're multiplying, do the multiplication, and then see which one of these will work. Go ahead. Okay, I think I've noticed, yeah, the glare's not too bad. Okay, we got this. All right, so again, still multiplying. All right, 12 times 4, 48. Again, if you don't know how to do that one in your head or you don't know that one, that's okay, write it out. 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 1 is 4. That's our answer, move it over here. Okay, 48. Now look at our signs. The signs are the same, they're both negative. A negative times a negative is a positive, okay, because they're the same sign positive. So we're done, same signs, okay? Let's do one more and then we'll call it. Let's see, what about, we'll do a couple more. I got an idea. 32 times 4, okay? 32 times 4, work this one out. Go ahead. Okay, what you guys should have noticed, okay, again, you need to do this. There's no shame in doing this, okay? Don't erase it. If you do it, leave it there. For some reason, on my tests and quizzes, if you've done something wrong, let's say your answer is wrong, I go back to your work. Well, if you erased your work, you can't get any credit, okay? On your homework, I need shown work. on the tests and quizzes and when we're in the classroom, you don't have to show your work. And I'll get more into that like when we get into the classroom and we're all talking. You don't have to show your work, but if there is shown work and you've got the wrong answer, I can still give you partial credit for this. So if you erase this, I mean, then it's gone and I can't give you credit for it. So 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 3 is 12, 128. Positive times a positive is a positive. They are the same signs are positive, says right here. And then we're done. Same signs. Okay? All right, last one, I promise. Let's see, what do we have? Anything crazy over here? No. No, not really. All right, let's do this one. Let's do. All right, here we go. Negative 7 times 10. If you know the rules, it shouldn't be difficult. Go ahead. Okay, if you did this correctly, we're just multiplying. 7 times 10, I mean, that should be a rather simple multiplication for us. Okay, 70. Negative times a positive, different signs. Different signs are negative. Negative 70 is our answer, and then you write different signs. Okay, hope this helps. Hope this makes sense. There's the answer. See you guys on the next one with, what are we doing next? Multiply. We are dividing integers. See you later.